What if I told you that you could get a medically certified level of clean, slash your cleaning time by more than half, and use 93% less water, all without a single drop of chemicals? Well, today, we're diving into a technology that promises exactly that. Let's talk about Blue Evolution.
So, let's start with a really direct question, right off the bat. Is your company still using buckets and rags to clean? It sounds so simple, I know, but that one choice, it's actually at the root of some pretty major challenges for a lot of businesses. Because let's be real for a second, that old school method, it often just gives you the illusion of clean. It's slow, it's inefficient, and honestly, a lot of the time it's just spreading the dirt around. The results are just not great, especially for all the effort you're putting in.
And the problems, they run way deeper than just wasted time. We're talking about serious business risks here. Things like cross-contamination from using that same dirty water over and over, the constant danger of slippery floors, not to mention the hidden costs of using just massive amounts of water. These are real, everyday challenges for any industry where hygiene is a top priority.
Okay, but what if you could just solve all of those problems in one go? Well, the answer lies in a really powerful innovation, steam. A way to get total, absolute hygiene with literally zero chemicals. The core technology is called hot, dry steam. Now I want you to picture this, water heated to a scorching 184 degrees Celsius, that's 363 Fahrenheit, and then blasted out at 10 bars of pressure. This is not the gentle steam from your kettle. This is a serious, powerful sanitizing force that deep cleans using nothing but water. But the real genius here is the 3-in-1 process that happens all in a single pass. So first, that high-temp steam just dissolves dirt, grease, and kills germs on contact. Then, an integrated vacuum immediately sucks up all that dissolved gunk. And third, and this is the real game changer, an internal UVC light sanitizes all the water it collected, which actually purifies the air in the room while you clean.
So, just how effective is it? Well, the system is certified to eliminate 99.9% of germs and bacteria. That's not just looking clean. This is a certified medical-grade standard of hygiene.
And beyond the incredible hygiene, just look at the business case. We're talking about cutting your cleaning time by 60% and using an unbelievable 93% less water. I mean, these kinds of numbers don't just optimize a process. They can completely transform your bottom line.
So, we've covered the what and the how. Now let's get to the with what. Let's meet the actual tools that make this whole transformation possible, the Blue Evolution lineup.
Okay, at the heart of the family, you've got the two all-rounders. You can think of the S Plus as the agile, versatile workhorse. It's perfect for a huge range of applications. And then you've got the XL Plus. That's the industrial powerhouse, with more than double the power, built for huge areas and the absolute toughest cleaning jobs.
But it doesn't stop there. They've also got specialized tools. The B-Belt is made specifically for cleaning conveyor belts, which are notoriously difficult. The Steam Hero is a fantastic high-performance entry point, and the Carbon UVC is this super compact, lightweight unit for getting into all those tight, hard-to-reach spots. There's basically a tool for every possible commercial challenge.
So here's a quick look at how they stack up. You can see the different power outputs and pressures, but here's the really important part. Notice that every single machine, right across the board, has that critical UVC light for sanitizing the air. And they're all HACCP certified. That's a super strict international standard for food safety, so you know these things are ready for even the most sensitive environments.
All right, tech specs are one thing, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's check out some proof from companies that have already made the switch.
Let's start with public transit. Thomas Wirtz, who runs a fleet of buses, says they're now getting a completely new level of hygiene. And just think for a second how tough buses are to keep clean. That's a really powerful statement.
So what does that new level actually mean in practice? Well, for them, it means stubborn stuff like dried chewing gum is just gone. And all those tricky, hard-to-reach areas around the seats and doors, finally getting cleaned perfectly.
Now let's jump over to healthcare, where, let's face it, the stakes are even higher. The managing director at a senior care facility said the biggest thing for them is getting maximum hygiene in one single step without putting residents at risk with chemicals. So for them, it's all about safety. The residents and the staff are totally protected from any chemical residues. And a really cool side effect? The air quality indoors is so much better, you can actually feel it's more pleasant. And what about food production, where the standards are just incredibly strict? A production manager at a truffle company says they've finally found an eco-friendly alternative that actually meets that high HACCP standard.
So for them, it's a win for safety and sustainability. You know, this technology isn't just winning over individual businesses. It's actually starting to get some serious recognition at the highest levels of industry and even government.
And I mean, this is a huge deal. It's not just a corporate thing, it's getting attention on a national level. The technology was actually demonstrated to India's Minister of State for Railways, with the goal of redefining hygiene across the entire country's railway system. That is a massive vote of confidence.
So after all of that, what's the big takeaway here? What we're really looking at is a fundamentally new standard for what the words clean and safe actually mean in a professional setting.
So let's just boil it all down. This system basically guarantees a new level of safety because of 6 key things. It's certified to kill 99.9% of germs, it inactivates viruses, it literally washes the air with UVC light, it leaves surfaces and floors totally germ-free, there is 0 chemical residues, and the whole process is incredibly efficient and sustainable.
Which, you know, brings us right back to where we started. If you know you can get a certified medical-grade clean in 60% less time using 93% less water, you have to ask yourself, is the old way of doing things really good enough anymore?